Let's talk about freedom. And an orator said, "Speak to us of freedom." And he answered, "At the city gate and by your fireside I have seen you prostrate yourself and worship your own freedom, even as slaves humble themselves before a tyrant and praise him though he slays them. Aye, in the grove of the temple and in the shadow of the citadel I have seen the freest among you wear their freedom as a yoke and a handcuff. And my heart bled within me. For you can only be free when even the desire of seeking freedom becomes a harness to you, and when you cease to speak of freedom as a goal and a fulfillment. You shall be free indeed when your days are not without a care and your nights without a want and grief, but rather when these things griddle your life and let you rise above them naked and unbound. And how shall you rise beyond your days and nights unless you break the chains which you are at the dawn and your understanding have fastened around you at the noon hour? In truth, that which you call freedom is the strongest of these chains, though its links glitter in the sun and dazzle your eyes. And what is it but fragments of your own self you would discard that you may become free? If it is an unjust law you would abolish, the law was written with your own hand upon your own forehand. You cannot erase it by burning your law books, nor by washing the foreheads of your judges, though you pour your sea upon them. And if it is a despot you would dethrone, see first that his throne is erected within you destroyed. For how can a tyrant rule the free and the proud, but for a tyranny in their own freedom and shame in their own pride? And if it is a care you would cast off, then a care has been chosen by you rather than imposed upon you. And if it is fear you would dispel, the seed of that fear is your heart, and not in the hand of the feared. Verily, all things move within your being in a constant half-embrace. The desired and the dreaded, the repugnant and the cherished, the pursued, that you which would escape. These things move within you as lights and shadows in pairs that cling. Welcome back, Panda. And when the shadow fades and is no more, the light that lingers becomes a shadow to another light. And thus your freedom, when it loses its fetters, becomes itself the fetter of a greater freedom. Interesting. Interesting. Freedom is a very abstract idea because I think freedom is really a relative term. Andrew's a great story reader. I enjoy following asleep to him reading. I'd kill for that, not gonna lie. Absolutely. So just so you know, Panda, I'm going to be uploading all of these onto my YouTube channel, and I'll be doing some editing so that it's just kind of like the poem parts. So yeah, you should check out my YouTube channel. If you type in !socials, actually let me do that right now. Socials. You can check out my Mechanics GG profile, and actually, oh wait, no, I think it's YouTube. There we go. Yeah, check out my Mechanics GG profile, and you can see all my pages, and just go over to my YouTube channel and be sure to link up there, and you can find all the VODs for these. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kind words, though. Freedom is an abstract thought. Freedom is a relativistic idea because freedom in one nation and one set of laws is very different from freedom in another nation and another set of laws. And I think Gibran is alluding to that really quickly, or in these writings, because he says, "For how can a tyrant rule the free and be proud, but for a tyranny in their own freedom and shame in their own pride?" So how can a tyrant, so a dictator, how can a tyrant rule the free and the proud, but for a tyranny in their own freedom and shame, and a shame in their own pride? So somebody can rule the free, somebody can have power over you, but relatively speaking, the system of governance around you is what dictates the notion of freedom. So short of a man coming up and literally shackling you and physically binding you, like a tyrant having rule over the free, metaphorically speaking, and the greater idea or the greater notion of what freedom is, it's all relativistic. It's all based on what is freedom. Is freedom just a freedom from being bound? Is it freedom from being in prison? Is it freedom from dictatorship? Is it freedom of thought? So freedom is relativistic based on what you're talking about. And so I think that's what Gibran is saying here, is that you have to keep a relativistic mindset. There's no, I guess, one really true freedom that we can abstract as humans. We just have to keep it relativistic, and we have to keep it within the notions of the world in which we live. So Thank you so much, Panda. I really appreciate it. I've been told my voice is kind of soothing, so this is a really hard one, guys. I'd have to go back and reread it a couple times and really meditate on it, but I guess if nothing else, I think the takeaway is just that freedom is somewhat relativistic. So, yeah.